Hey everybody, welcome back to another Friday video, Trucker Money. This is number 54. If you haven't seen this before, there's a lot of new subscribers to the channel. What we like to do every Friday is get together and talk about something other than trucking. And something that is kind of a big part of all our world is money and finance. I haven't been doing this much lately. We've been super busy here over at the company, and things are kind of slow right now, so I'm going to try to get back into doing this every Friday. And I do this as much for me as I do for y'all because I like talking about it. It's a hobby of mine. It's a pastime. Everybody should care about their financial situation. So there's a lot of new subscribers to this channel. We've picked up a lot along the way. So let me just explain first what it is. Okay, this is number 54. We like to do this every Friday. So this is the 54th week we've done this. This is about the week of June 19th to the 24th. What is it? Well, I like to get together and we talk about money and finance. All right. Trucking is a pretty good paying job. What are you going to do with all the money? You're going to just, meander through life, or are you going to focus and try to do something and make the most of it? This is to provoke thought. This is not financial advice. This is not me giving financial advice. This is me sharing my journey with you in hopes to inspire you and motivate you to do something for yourself, rather than just say, oh, I can't wait for this Friday's paycheck. And then, oh God, it's Monday. What did I do with all the money? Right? Inspire you to plan a future for yourself. Maybe get to that retirement, or help put your kids through college, or better your life. Whatever it is that you want to do. And why? Why do we do this? Number one, because I like to do it. And number two, I'm tired of this trucking industry, right? If you're watching this, you're probably in the trucking industry. That's what this channel is about. Tired of the trucking industry. We make good money. This is one of the industries where you can make really good money and with no formal education, other than going to truck driving school for a few weeks. We do pretty well for ourselves, right? The problem is if you've been in this industry for a while, typically a lot of people are broke. Money is mismanaged, right? It costs a lot of money to be on the road, and this is in life in general. Not a lot of financial planning going on in this world. So I just want to inspire you to change that. So that's why we do it. Starting off here, if you're new here, I like passive income, right? I like things that earn me money for me having to do work one time and then just sitting back and being able to collect on that going forward in life. So I talk about, and one of the biggest things for me is a passive income dividend portfolio. So I talk about all the different things I do to earn side income, passive income, investments that I made. Oh, forgot to shut the phone off. And any moves that I made for the week. So this is the week of June 19th to the 25th. Oh, first of all, if you like these kind of videos, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Encourage me to keep doing them. I need a little bit of encouragement to continue to do this every Friday. Friday is always a busy day. End of the day Friday, things always kind of go to heck and it's a scramble. But hey, with a little bit of encouragement, I can keep doing it. Check out the links in the description below for some links to some good products. We got a new factoring company there, a really good one. Check out MUDFLAP for some good fuel discounts, Fuel Ox for some good the world's best fuel additives as far as I'm concerned. And what else? The Amazon link. If you're going to shop on Amazon, hey, use that link anyway. Help me earn a little commission on that or something. Anyway, for this week, we have rental real estate property. Nothing came in for this week. That's usually first week of the month, so hopefully next week. In the dividend portfolio, let me talk a little bit about that because I've been away for a while. It's been a few months since we've been doing this regularly. Now, we all know the stock market has kind of taken a hit here this first half of the year. It's been kind of sucky, right? And if you got a portfolio heavy in tech, you've taken a good hit. Or anything, you've taken a pretty good hit. Now, if you're new to this, I've designed a dividend income portfolio of dividend paying stocks that pays me every week of the year. Didn't really intend it that way, it just kind of happened that way. I'm feeling really good about that right now. I'm down considerably less than the overall market, and these dividends keep just coming in, compounding, growing. I haven't been paying close attention. I looked just this morning what has come in over the last couple months, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is what I wanted it to do, and it's working." A dividend portfolio is a great portfolio in a sideways market. You don't get much growth in a sideways market, but when you have a dividend income portfolio, you continue to accumulate shares, typically at a lower price, and growth. And my overall portfolio has held up very low, or very well. I'm sorry, it's down considerably less than the market average. And every way I look at it, I'm like, this is exactly what I was trying to design. This is what I was trying to do. It's growing and compounding exactly the way I was hoping it would and designed it to do for a long-term income strategy. So I'm quite pleased about that. And it's a very low beta, low volatility portfolio. You're not going to see much tech in there. You're not going to see the latest and greatest, the newest best thing. You'll probably never see that, but you're going to see a lot of old stalwarts that have just stood the test of time and continue to do well over test of time. We call them market dominators, right, in their categories. So who paid this week? Well, we only got 3 dividend payments this week. We got Unilever, Flowers Foods, and ticker symbol FDVV, which is the Fidelity High Dividend ETF. So that's all we got for this week. We didn't get any dividend increases or cuts. A lot of times I can go many weeks at a time and get a raise every week. A lot of these companies traditionally increase their dividend regularly every year. What did I buy lately? I bought some more 3M. I'm trying to establish a large position in 3M, and it is on sale right now. I didn't put a ton of money into it because I don't have a lot of spare money right now. Trucking's not wonderful, but we did put some in there. And then I bought some more Altria, ticker symbol MO. And you're probably saying, why? Why in the hell would you do that? They're being forced to take their Juul products off the market. They're under all kinds of pressure. I believe it's all priced in. The stock has taken a hit. It has raised that dividend up in excess of 8%. I bought at over an 8% yield. The price is beat down. The bad news is priced in. And this company, over the course of time, has reinvented itself time and time again. They went through the tobacco lawsuits years ago, came out strong, reinvented the company, split off Philip Morris and Altria. Philip Morris is now the overseas part of the company. Altria is domestic sales, and they own a 10% stake in InBev Budweiser. People can make the case, hey, this is a morally bankrupt company. It's cigarettes. I believe people make their own choices. I do have some companies that I'm morally opposed to. This is not one of them. I believe adults can make their own choices, but there are companies I take a strong stance on that. This is not one of them. So that's kind of what's going on there, and I'm very happy. We are seeing the kind of dividend growth and income from the portfolio exactly what I intended. And in this kind of market, I'm stoked about it. A lot of people are fearful of the market right now. Am I? I'm cautious. I feel good. I don't have anything that I'm not exposed to a high amount of risk. I'm confident in my positions. I've weeded out the weakness, and I feel good about it. I'm not looking at this year or next year. I'm looking at 25 years from now. This is a long-term thing for me. I'm not an active trader. This is a long-term perspective for me. So that's kind of what's going on there. Now let's talk about the economy for a little bit. Don't normally do that, but people have a lot of decisions to make right now in our business, and information can help with that. Now, this is merely my opinion, and it can be a very complex subject, but at the same time, it can be simplified, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about right now. We're not going to go deep into this because I don't care to. It just can kind of make you a little depressed. But this whole economic situation with inflation, fuel prices, blah blah blah. You can go on down the list here with what's going on. But when you have decisions to make for a business or for your personal finance, You kind of have to look down the road a little way and see what's coming, especially for a business. I get a lot of emails from people right now. Hey, I'm thinking about parking my truck for a while, or I'm thinking about selling or closing my business. Do you think that's a bad idea? Well, that's only you can decide that. I make decisions for my business and what's best for us. But you got to think ahead and see what's coming. And maybe this will help. Let's talk about this inflation for just a second. And this includes somewhat fuel prices and your parts inflation and your shop rates, blah, everything, right? If you're alive right now, you know things are going up in price. So inflation, there's two basic sides to that, and like I said, it can be more complicated, but it's supply and demand at some point. And the way you gotta fix both sides of this when you're trying to address inflation. On the demand side, they've just raised interest rates, 75 basis points, so 0.75%. And in my opinion, too much, too fast. Anytime you raise interest rates that much, 75 basis points, you force the economy into recession. Now, I happen to believe we're probably likely already there. The numbers aren't officially in yet, but it's most likely unavoidable. But without exception, almost you throw the economy into recession. You stall economic activity. Higher interest rates make it more expensive for businesses to borrow money. People don't spend as much money, therefore, because they haven't borrowed it to expand or grow or run their businesses. And it kind of goes, down the line from there. It makes it more expensive for you to borrow money for a car or a house or whatever. Your credit card rates are going to go up. It makes it more expensive for government to pay their debts with a higher interest rate. So therefore, more money to service debt, less money for disposable other goods and services, right? Now, but also, raising interest rates is one way to slow down inflation. Unfortunately, they've done it, taken too large of a step here, in my opinion. So you're going to get some unintended consequences from that. In addition to that, inventories are high for businesses right now, which means they're not going to have to order. They don't need as many widgets brought in. All right, so there's going to be less moving, which you with all these things, what you're doing effectively is slowing what's called the velocity of money. The velocity of money is how often, how fast, how much money moves around, and that is economic activity, and it encourages growth. So you're slowing that down. There is some consequences that come with that, and you don't want to do too much too fast. Because it's hard for people to adjust. But here's the problem: is on the other side of that, the supply side. They're still giving out money like it's candy. Like you get $1 million, you get $1 trillion, you get $1 billion, with no consequence. So raising interest rates is not going to fix the problem if they refuse to address the other side of it too, where they're still spending money like drunken sailors on shore leave, right? And that's gives a bad name to drunken sailors, right? The way the government spends money. So it's not going to do anything but make the problem worse. And unfortunately, the things that are being spent this massive amounts of money on are not anything that really help us or our economy. A lot of it goes overseas or to causes and areas that are net losses for the economy. So there's that. Right, so if you're looking down the road and said, I have a business, times aren't great. I don't know, should I hold on? Should I get out? Should I minimize? What should I do? You look ahead and you see this, and you're like, okay, well, if I decide to just hang in there for 6 more months, what am I hanging in for? What is the thing that I'm looking forward to that is going to turn things around and make it worth me staying in business or being in business or give me a good outlook for my business? And when you look at that, I don't see it as a positive outlook. I don't see it as that the right things are being done. What are the right things? That's that's complicated, right? and we're not going to get into that. I hate arguing, so we're not going to do that. I'm just trying to tell you, how to look for an outlook for your financial situation or your business. Now, in regards to that, what am I doing? How does it affect me? Well, let's be honest. Trucking isn't perfect right now. It's not great. For some people, it's terribly bad. For me, yeah, it sucks. I intend to stay in business. So when I look down the road and look at these things for the inflation and monetary policy, blah, 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 it's going to affect my decision. I'm still not going to say, I'm closing up shop, we're out of here, we're out. But what I am going to do is lower exposure, lower risk, right? So that, hey, if things do get unbearable and something happens, catastrophic, it's not going to hurt so bad. So we're going to reduce debt to very little or zero if possible. This may limit me on the upside, right? And what I mean by that is, okay, I have X amount of debt, I have X amount of equipment, I have extra equipment right now. So we're probably going to sell one or two pieces of equipment, pay down or pay off debt, which limits my upside later, because when things turn around, I don't have that equipment to go do more work, expand, hire more people. But looking ahead, I believe that that's not the time for that. I believe it's the other time where it's risk management to stay in business. So I'll sacrifice potential upside to minimize worst case scenario downturn in the next 6 months to a year. And I believe that's smart for me right now. I actually believe it's smart for everybody, but that's how I'm handling it, what I'm going to do. So we'll eliminate or minimize debt to the point of zero debt, and that still leaves me plenty of equipment to operate the business. And if something catastrophic happens, it's okay. It's okay, because I don't have to come up with thousands of dollars a month to cover debt payments. It'll just be, hey, I can park that equipment, and when things turn around, we can put people back in it. We can put it back to work. But I believe not having to service debt will see us through a bigger downturn. It gives me more capital to do other things and absorb hits that I wouldn't necessarily be able to absorb otherwise. So, and simplify it, it's sometimes you live to fight again another day. Is that the right analogy? And that may seem odd or unusual to hear somebody say, but sometimes that's what businesses have to do, right? When you see big businesses lay people off, they're living to fight another day. If they keep all those people on and have to pay all those salaries and benefits when they're losing money, they may not survive. So they're trimming down, running a lean business to live to fight again another day. When things turn around, they'll hire, they'll expand again, and put people back to work. But they're still in business. And if they don't do those things going into a bad economic time, they may not be around on the other side coming out. I intend to be there. I intend to come out stronger and ready to do business should things turn around. So that's why I kind of try to have these conversations in my head of, okay, I'm looking forward. Well, what do I have to look forward to, and not just random thoughts and feelings. I want some hard data that tells me I have this to look forward to. I have it to look forward to that on September 30th. This is happening. This solid, tangible thing is happening. That, okay, and then I can say, okay, will that or will that not change things for my economic outcome? Anyway, this is getting a little bit longer than I intended for today, so we'll wrap this one up. We'll try to do this again next week. And hey, if it gets to be noon on Friday and you haven't heard from me or seen one of these yet, drop me a note and say, hey, how about a trucker money for today? All right, you guys have a great week. I wish you all the best, and we will see you next time.